This is President-elect Maria Lehmann. Dear friends of water, dear colleagues from the American Society of Civil Engineers, I'm very pleased to be with you today, even though the pandemic prevents me from being physically present among you all. The American Society of Civil Engineers and the World Water Council have enjoyed a fruitful relationship for many years. Your organization has made many contributions to the strategy of our council, and I thank you again. Beyond the health crisis we have been experiencing for the past 2 years, the world is now facing many other crises. Food crisis, energy crisis, and also water crisis. These crises create tensions with their political and diplomatic consequences, and water is no exception to these tensions. Because the world is thirsty, and when the world is thirsty, people are often hungry. Thirsty and hungry also for peace and development. And we have a huge responsibility to ensure that humanity has the capacity to meet the challenge of water security. Water on the surface of the planet is subject to numerous attacks. Demographic growth, the gigantic size of cities, the rise in the living standards, the concentration of people on the coast and along rivers all require additional volumes of water every day, every year, and a high demand for quality. And ensuring water security means allowing every human being to have the minimum necessary water for every type of use at all times and in all places. In the coming decades, we will have to produce more water and consume less. And this is clearly shows the role and useful response of engineers and more broadly of technological progress. Knowledge and innovation are and will be at the heart of water policies. And water, thanks to you, to your work and your research, must be based on the digital revolution we are experiencing. We need to use the best of the digital revolutions, which is happening now and which will continue in the future. Digital technologies can be integrated at any step of the water cycle to improve water's value chain. Digital technologies range from sensors, monitoring, forecasting, data processing, and also a treatment process and virtual and augmented reality to design new plants and networks. All kinds of mobile tools using mobile phones or private computers are playing step by step a major role. Day after day, these tools are establishing greater links between those who deliver a public service and those who consume it. Let us make the best out of wireless networks, data analysis, Internet of Things, clouds, blockchain solutions for water, but also for sanitation, waste, air, and energy. The digital revolution is making the citizen feel closer from the decision-making process and is reinforcing the feeling of a more local and participative democracy. But technological and digital progress will be supported by two other aspects which are essential for efficient water management. First, the financial capacity must be adapted and not granted. As you know, the situation of water financing can be summarized as follows. Water is short of money, but money is short of water. Financial engineering is becoming essential, especially to help the poorest countries, the smallest NGOs, to have the capacity to prepare and present bankable projects. Secondly, we cannot guarantee water security without water governance that brings it closer to the citizen. The time for centralized management is over. Water cannot accept injustice, inequality, and corruption. It's both a resource and a good, and its availability is an essential element of democratic life. This is a clear indication, dear friends and colleagues, of the evolution of the role of engineers in a world where man and nature must create an equitable and respectful relationship between them. Several centuries ago, the famous Leonardo da Vinci understood this well because he had both an artist's and an engineer's eye. He was a technician because he created machines and carried out work with related to water. But he was also a philosopher and a citizen of the world. And at the same time, he said that water is the blood of the earth. Satisfying human needs and at the same time honoring nature, protecting it, enhancing it, and respecting it, these are the values that we share with my friend, Prince Albert II of Monaco, who will speak just after me. For years, Prince Albert II has been involved in all the battles to protect our beautiful planet. He is first of all what I call a friend of water. He was one of the first to consider that fresh water and salt water were the same battle to guarantee respect for biodiversity and protection of ecosystems. The work of and actions of this foundation are a reference because they reconcile the needs of man and nature. Prince Albert II's convictions are based on knowledge on the field. We have seen him at the poles, on the glaciers, in the Amazon, in the Mediterranean, wherever the living environment threatened by man needed a defender, a lawyer. Under his leadership, the Principality of Monaco has in a few years become a world reference for the protection of nature on land and oceans. Museums, laboratories, congresses, international meetings, everything is done in Monaco to promote the progress of research, particularly oceanographic research, in the objective to provide concrete solutions. Monaco, and this is a rare occurrence, is a place where researchers and experts share their knowledge with the general public concerned by the future of our planet. Prince Albert II has devoted himself with seriousness and enthusiasm to contributing to the democratization of better knowledge on the threats to the natural balance of the world. He is undoubtedly the most committed head of state in the peaceful battle for the combined survival of man and nature. It's worth noting that the Prince assumes this major role with great naturalness and a rare modesty. He's an example for us all through his vision for a virtuous and united world. Monseigneur, you are an example and a model for the Great Water family, and I assure you of my consideration and respectful friendship. Thank you.